Not happy at all. Obviously the big overbet, check raise there on the turn, confused Phil Ivey.
He had a 10. 10. One of the cards was 10 jacks.
In a cash game, you want to put people on tilt. In tournaments, the strategy is so different because the blinds go up, players fall out, you're getting more and more money the deeper you go. In cash game, nothing changes, but you do increase the blinds every now and again. Players agree. So the pressure you put on is to isolate people's heads up, the weaker players. Get heads up with them as many pots as you can. That's how you make money.
And after 55 hands, Tony G now up $83,000. What a good time to rebuy 50,000 more, huh? Chris Ferguson still up 52,000. Eric Lindgren up almost 40,000. And look at our big loser. Probably one of the greatest players in the world today. Phil Ivey is down almost $140,000. We've got a new player in the game. Here it is. It's Brian Townsend. Brian Townsend, one of the best internet poker players in the world. He's known as SB Rugby on Full Tilt site.
I find cash games more exhilarating than tournaments because the stakes are much higher. When playing tournaments, you're only playing for maybe a $10,000 buy-in, and the first prize will be a lot, but with cash games you can be playing for just as much money and have as big as wins and losses as the biggest tournaments. So I find that much more exciting, and I like to gamble real high for a lot of money.
Yeah, he's also played the biggest cash game in Las Vegas at the Bellagio. Had a very bad time around the World Series, dropping $3 million within a very short period of time, 1.8 live and 1.2 online. But he'd already had a good time before that, so he could afford the loss. No stranger to big bet poker, and I believe he sat down at this table with 200,000, and with Phil Ivey stuck over 130,000 right now. There's definitely going to be some fireworks to come. Look at these two are going to tangle up again. We've got a raise from Phil Ivey in early position, and a call from Tony G. And Eric Seidel on the button. This one's going to be 4 to the flop, with Andy Block finding suited connectors in the big blind.
4 players.
Well, there's certainly a lot of action here.
2, Queen 5.
Queen 5, 2, a couple of clubs out there. Well, with 4 in the pot, the original leader, pocket 3 for Eric Seidel,
5,000.
is still out in front, but Tony G with a middle pin 3 for a straight is going to be the one leading the action, and that's going to win this pot. And with Tony G up over 80,000, you wonder if he's going to keep his foot on the pedal all night long. Well, he might not keep his foot on the pedal, but he's certainly going to be a little bit more vocal now that he's over 80,000 in front.
It has been a tough table so far for Phil Ivey. Obviously, things not going your way at the moment. What's been the problem, do you think?
Nothing really. It's just a normal fluctuation of poker. You can't really judge a poker game over, I think we've been playing about 4 hours now. So it's not really that big a deal. I think I'm stuck a little over 100,000, and I'm not really sweating it. I mean, there was one hand that came down between me and Tony where I could have gotten away from it. I put him on a different type of hand, and he had a hand where I was still probably a little more than 2-to-1 dog. So it wasn't that big of a deal either way. And other than that, I think I'm playing reasonably well, and so I'm not really too worried about it.
You said last time we spoke that you were trying a few things out there. Is it time to get back to the Phil Ivey that we all know?
So I'm always trying things in poker. I'm always experimenting and just kind of, that's how you get better. You try things. And you just try to figure things out and make moves when necessary and kind of kick back when necessary too. So you don't really expect anything from me. I'm just going to play how I'm feeling, and whatever I think is right is what I'm going to do.
Good luck. Hope it turns around for you. Thanks a lot. Well done.
Patrick Antonius, action on him right now. And in first position, King 6 suited
Probably not a hand you play very often, but Patrick likes it.
Well, here's another hand I probably don't play quite the same way.
2,800.
Brian Townsend getting his feet wet straight away, raising it up with 7-4 of diamonds. That's certainly a statement of intent to the commentators, at least, who can see his hand that he came to play.
2,800 is called.
2 4s for Alan Cunningham.
Pass.
You see Chris Ferguson laying down there. It's actually a perfect game for Chris Ferguson. He can kind of lay low and wait for the big hands.
Yeah, that seems to be the best game plan right now. There's so many, well, if you'll pardon my French, lunatics out there throwing their chips in the middle. Playing tight may well be the best strategy for this game at the moment.
And Patrick Antonius is going to call this out of position. King 6 suited.
Well, both his cards are live, and if he catches his king, he'll be quite far in front, barring the case 4.
Wow. Now this is a huge flop here. You've got Cunningham with a set of 4s. You have Patrick Antonius with a flush draw. And of course Townsend with nothing. That is the case 4.
Yep, the very last 4 has come out. And it's not stopping Brian Townsend firing oh, he almost changed his mind. He's reaching for more. He'd like to lose more in this pot.
8,600.
You can see Brian Townsend there, aka SP Rugby. He has a 1% chance of winning this hand.